So we talked about earlier, there is a difference between the Israelis and the Jews, and it's clear, for any religious follower or any, whether it's a Christian or Muslim or a Jew, you find the source, God, the Creator, when He mentions them and tested them, they've proven themselves and He described the Jews as they have cruel hearts, which is more cruel and hard than rocks, where rocks can be shaped with water, running water across time. The more you hit something, there is a chance it will collide and break. So this is it. They have more cruel hearts than anybody, and so their hearts are really disgusting, beyond any word that can describe these people who have agenda, and they are so manipulators. They're so deceivers, and they've been exactly. I cannot even tell you why, but according to what I have read, that the Jews and whoever arrogant before us, before the last messenger by God, which he died 15 centuries ago, we don't need him anymore. This is the first part. It turns out that there is a difference between Israelis and the Jews. So the Jews are really, it's not a race. Judaism is not a race, where it is in Arabic, because according to the agenda of Judaism, it's not religion, because they claim they are the only chosen people and they are the succeeders of these great legendary messengers, so called, and they are the chosen and they are the successful portion of humanity, and other parts of races in humanity are worth nothing, and they actually labor for these people across history, and that's how they managed to get grab of the most powerful source, which is money. It was money, regardless how it can be gathered. And then who controls the world? You see, you control it financially, banks, name it, media. It's power. They even create wars, problems to gain, and then they gain what they want. I mean, with no regrets or regard to whatever they are using, even those who fight, and the so-called wars that these people, the Jews, always work on, like using, like how they established, came in and hijacked the United States, hijacked the power, and central power, which is controlled by politicians who can change things in the Constitution, and establish new laws that prohibit people from things that they used to be free to do, like banning them from owning gold and transferring that material source of power into stock markets. Nothing, just numbers and computers. And they stripped people of their rights, and they even sent them to war, like the veterans, intentionally. So you see, millions of people have died for nothing, no reason. I mean, why would an American soldier wake up one day and he will obey a command to go fight in some country that he never heard of, like Vietnam or whatever, or Iraq, and die there? how many, 50,000 in Vietnam, or how many in Iraq, 20,000 so-called. I mean, why would they do that? Because they have this machine, power of machine, that with their brains they work out the best that they could get out of it in order to fulfill their sick dreams and keep in possession and control of the world. Until now, you have it now. You have this nonsense of that we are really told what to do, and if we don't abide by the rules, that the pandemic or the coronavirus, they tell you have to do things that it's contradicting to the mind, that, and they try to scare you of things that doesn't exist, like the spread of coronavirus. Who cares? I mean, it's like, what is it? How many people got affected or killed or died? It's not even, I don't want to mention numbers. Less than 1 million where, corona-related deaths from how many people on the planet now? More than 7 billion. What is it? I mean, the influenza and the flu kills more people than this. And they if you don't, whether it's not you individually, they started with governments. I don't know. I was in away for prison, because it was a lockdown in prison, and I didn't believe it. So I have no idea how it started. I just got out 2 months ago. And it's true. I mean, it's so fucking disgusting, and that they shut down governments, they shut down aviation across the world. You have to, and it's coming from higher sources. Governments talk with governments, and these things must be done, even if it contradicts logic and common sense. They must, lock down. Nobody moves. People lost their businesses, lost jobs, lost in any field. Whether it's tourism, whether it's aviation, whether it's shopping malls, whether cinemas, you name it, for nothing. And even you have to wear a mask, a goddamn mask. You see? A goddamn mask, huh? For what? And if you don't wear it in public places, you might get arrested, and if you are that not having too much luck. But even in so-called 7 countries like England, you expect you to pay £100, £100, it's like more than $100 for a goddamn cheap, stupid mask that it actually kills me more than it benefits me, because, we breathe, we live with, there is good bacteria and there is bad bacteria that needs to be ejected from our system. But when we keep it closed, so I'm trying to refresh the air that goes inside my body, but I don't. I'm trying to get rid of the bad bacteria and bring something good, benefit the body. It's like I'm stuck. I'm killing myself. I'm living with this. I must share, life with, but, otherwise, see? I mean, it's so sad. I mean, they control the world now. They control it. One world government now, it's disgusting, and I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about, this is a one world government that, the first reaction to show humanity that they are in control and power is by this incident, which is really disgusting, and shows how heinous these people are. And future of humanity is a real danger if awareness and knowledge is not the key factor in this survivor with the world. Those who control the world, whether it's financially or economy or trade or you name it. They have their grips on everything, so major things. So you cannot do it. Even governments, if governments don't obey, they will suffer the consequences. So you have this obedience throughout the world for nothing. There is no corona. And if there is something like corona, because who cares? They have extravagated the issue. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, people die every day, and people get born every day. So what? You're telling me like for now, how many? 5-6 months only, like less than 1 million? And 5-6 months, there are at least tens of millions are newborn. It is. I mean, this is so sad to me that the future of humanity will eventually prevail, because wrong will be still wrong no matter how long it takes. No matter the power that is behind what is wrong will never have the ability to justify it as good. No, wrong is wrong. No matter how long you can use it or in any way. But, and it's time for to spread the word and actually use common sense. That's what we ask. Common sense is like, wow, if you have no explanation of what's going on, then the other individual or person, maybe his opinion, worth thinking about. Like, when I see awareness across, some good societies, like, I'm not sure about if I have all the names, like in Germany, for instance, people are fed up in Germany. Either professional doctors or ordinary people. Just think, how can you control people's life? You tell them what to do and what to not to do and what to wear and what. Yeah, this is out of your business. This is the liberty of people. They decide. If he wants to die, he can jump off the high-rise building or shoot himself. You don't tell him things that doesn't make sense and interfere with their lives. What to eat, when to sleep, when to go, not to go, and keep social distancing. And it is. I'm sorry. I'm not a good speaker. I'm not gonna. Even because I have a brain damage. I've been suffering all my life, especially the last 15 years of hearing voices, and that is the subject I'm going to talk about today. The hearing voices. And it's a growing awareness about it throughout internet, according to my humble search, and what is being labeled medically schizophrenic or mental illness, because people in the profession of medicine, they don't believe in the unseen, Satan or whatever, because they believe in material. That's medicine. That's how medicine exists on facts, not on presumptions or things that doesn't make sense. So we will talk about this and how it's been covered and done and protected. And those behind actually are causing a lot of pain and suffering and murder to big number of humanity during the past century, 20th century. Now we're going to the 21st century, and just people who hear voices or be labeled as schizophrenic or mental, they kill themselves, they commit suicide, because it's so heinous, that unbearable, incurable disease, like incurable and unbearable. So people shoot themselves, kill themselves, jump. Young people, whatever their age or sex orientation, they jump off high-rise buildings, they kill themselves, they cut their. This is the only logical solution for them. And I thought about it, taking my life in a merciful, civil way. And there is, you guys know, maybe if you Google cyanide, it's a tablet that was used in militaries or with people of more importance. So if they fall in the hand of the enemies, they would just swallow that tablet, and it will stop their hearts from beating, and they will eventually die. and not to, because if they fall, and they will be tortured, and they will have to say things that they shouldn't say. But now, yeah, we live in an advanced science. Just sip like drinking some kind of juice, and you have no so cards, no matter how, there is no pain in it. Not even you just die merciful then. Because you cannot live with this unbearable and incurable disease. And it's a savage way to go and kill yourself with a gun or whatever other mean. So this is the subject, and I will mention one guy, a friend who I met in one of the detention center in Thailand. His name is Robert. He's from Norway, and he suffers from hearing voices. And he has I shared great time with him when he knew what was going on, because this is that happens. People, victims of these heinous acts, they just don't figure out in a month or a year or two. It takes decades, a lot of time to establish logical understanding of these sources of these voices. And it's been known that even in different perspective, religion, Christians or so Muslims or whatever, these satanic rituals, they get some like leftovers or whatever, grab that from hair of the victims, and so they do a satanic ritual that will make this person's life miserable all his life. If he's not lucky enough to kill himself in his life, because that's the only solution for these people who I know. I am one of them. It's nobody can feel our pain. Me or anybody in this planet who suffers from hearing voices. These voices are not in the head. There is nothing coming in your head. Voices coming from outside. And I would have to say God allowed it. I mean, God is so savage and backward to keep using unnecessary creatures. Sadly, God gave them the ability to be partners with Him. And how do we know if we cannot see these Satans or demons and ghosts, but they can see us and hear us. And the sad part, they can just they speak. So there is only one connection between us, material people who we understand, and when we talk to each other, we know, and there is a logic behind that voice that coming from another person. But if it comes from, and it's so fast and non-stop, and He gave the ability to actually, for doing some satanic, stupid, backward, disgusting, savage way of rituals, that these so-called creatures, very backward creatures, before humans, before even everything was created, before planets, before everything, insects, the unseen Satans, because most of you know that Satan was first job is seduce Adam, or that's at least who got our Adam, the first human being, and his wife, which I have a different understanding of how humanity evolved. There is true. Humans evolved from monkeys and apes, and it's clear because with evidence from the scriptures, that even God says that who made you and altered you. When you alter somebody, it's like, we all know that monkeys, gorillas, apes, they're very close in similarity with the human beings, very close, the closest. of animal species, and but they use both their hands and legs to move around. But in case these animals want to eat, they just stop or pick up something that they will try to reach it or eat, so they have to use their hands. So it is true that humans evolved and became human because animals have the brains too. Okay, so what we're talking about is that there is no necessary or necessity to continue with this savage, disgusting creatures for no reason. And humanity in the last 50 years, 1950 2000, have proved themselves that they established they went through space and went through deep oceans or deep human body with knowledge and advanced science. They don't need this nonsense of Satan and whatever. We have nothing in common except we understand that's being used in its evil way and in a small percentage across the world to harm innocent victims for no reason. I mean, and just show you if I want to know, like if I talked with Robert, we're talking about who are behind these heinous and inhumane acts that make people's lives so miserable. It's like it's more inhumane than using a gun or a nuclear bomb, because that time period will, the effects of whether it's a bomb or a war, it will gradually be forgotten or whatever, even if death occurs from it. But if somebody is a victim of these voices and satanic rituals, they will never have peace of mind. So it's a continuous, second by second, psychological, unbearable, incurable torture for years, for decades, for nothing. For nothing. But some of them are with good intentions and naive, if you call it, because they live in societies like in Saudi Arabia. It's clear behind, it's God. I mean, it's the richest country on the planet, and it's the shittiest society ever. And I was born, and I am Arab, and I hate to be. I was a Saudi. I'm not Saudi anymore. After what they did to me, and I will talk about it. I mean, even they sent people to confiscate their documents, whether it's IDs. So if something happens to me abroad and I have to be extradited home, so I have no other stopover, so I can find a chance to not go back where the promised punishment of at least, if not in jail, I would be in a big jail, not even able to travel abroad the country. But now, no. I mean, there is because I voice my opinion on social media and what happened to me. It was unjust. I cannot accept it. Even God said God does not like using vowel language among you people, except those who are being oppressed. Because if you have a right, why are you doing this? You have to explain it. It doesn't make sense. If you are oppressed, God loves you to stand up for your right and say whatever foul language. God does not love or like people who voice their foul language. Foul, when I start saying foul, the most negative words you could imagine hearing. But God loves it because it's natural. Because He's the creator and it's natural. Because other creatures react the same. So either become victims of these societies they live under, or some of them just don't listen, because they never heard clear commands, and so they get punished for thinking. Look how disgusting. These people who control the world, they control the future, and nobody can doubt it, nobody can do anything about it, and still afraid. Afraid of what? If you control the world. If you look what now with this is a clear evidence of the narrowness and self-tiredness of these who control the whole planet and ignite wars and destroy. They are afraid of somebody who's been working for them, but he thought about it. He said, I should not do this. Like whistleblowers too. Yeah, it's not about, because if you stop doing, or you think, you're doing wrong, and people should know about it. Why? I don't know. I mean, these people are disgusting, and they have to be exterminated. I mean, do not intentionally follow them, but if you can see one of them, he's saying he doesn't care, because he said he never had a chance across thousands of years to live his life, because he was a deceiver, he was a liar, son of a liar for thousands of years, and they've been using, living for an agenda to control. So what's the end? What's the point? Even the Israelis, goddamn Israelis, after they fulfill their dream and they have the promised land, which is in the Bible or the Quran, we don't see them enjoying. Even when Trump came in, or the American president, he acknowledged Jerusalem as the capital of state of Israel. They should be happy. They should be goddamn celebrating for years and decades to come. We don't see that. We see them. Because, to be honest with you, I'm sorry, I hope you follow with me, because according to my humble knowledge, is that there is no explanation why these people, as God who created them, have these cruel hearts, and their hearts are more hard or cruel than even rocks, where rocks can be shaped through by running water across time. Except, even God mentioned it, that for their disobedience and arrogance, he would test them, like not to fish on Saturday. I mean, God, before that, he took them out from the oppression of Pharaoh in Egypt, so he can free them from oppression, so he might check them out. If they are thankful, okay, that's common sense. If they are not thankful, okay, no problem too. But they don't become clear arrogance and denying of gratefulness, because and this is across time, whether it's thousands of years or still now. And God tested them in so many ways, and he said, okay, this is the sea, okay, fish, whales, you name it, do not fish on Saturday. Let's see. So what happens is that, in short, that okay, if they stop fishing on Saturdays, they will see the whales approaching the seashore. They will see a lot of good fish, and it's easy, but they cannot do anything. They have to wait for the second day, Sunday, to go back. So they started doing it gradually by putting their nests so they can counter the fish on that day. That's on Friday. So when the fish come on Saturday and goes into these way of nests, so they will be stuck, and eventually probably they will die, or there is no escape. So for Saturday until the next day, the people who put these and cross the line of not to fish on Saturday, they would put it on Friday, and they will go collect it on Sunday. what the hell is this? So he turned them into, he said, be apes. And he turned them into pigs and apes. So many religious theories that they say, oh, even God, when he turned them, many of them, not all of them, not all the race of Judaism, Jews and Israelis, but many, especially the Jews. Okay, if we can understand that there was a portion of people who were punished by God and turned them into different creatures, what will happen? Because they say that God turned them into monkeys and pigs. They did not live very long, only very short period, and they all died. I don't think so. Because you cannot be sure of what's going on during that incident. Time, day by day, week by week, month by one, year by year, and so they would, breed again, even if after they were turned into monkeys and pigs, and so they would breed again from a perspective of they were human beings, but they were transformed into disgusting, filthy creatures like monkeys or apes and pigs. So they have to go back and become human beings, but they will not. And that's the only common sense I can come up with. That and they have this cruel and disgust way of life and hate towards everybody except themselves for no reason. Even I just told you, for no reason. They control the world and they just want to be in control for no reason. I mean, for God's sake, animals celebrate what, after they hunt, or human beings celebrate, decent human beings, normal human beings celebrate what they planned and worked hard for. These people have been planning for thousands of years. They will never stop. So, you see, that's a clear explanation of why they cannot fit again. They cannot be human again. They are different. You see them different. They see us different. I'm not saying all, but majority. And majority is disaster when you use majority. Even God says Jews are the most cruel enemies to believers across the world. Believers who are born and believing naturally. Oh, I wasn't here yesterday, and now I'm here. Tomorrow I might not be here. It's like your grandfather brought your father, your mother brought you, and you will bring your son, and your son will bring your grandson. So it does make sense that there is some higher power or creator. End of this part.